Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for the week of December 15th. You have this short illness card. It says short rest, poor health, blockage, temporary problems, weakness, unhealthy atmosphere. You have this poverty card. It says financial loss, strains, down on your luck, scarcity mindset, in a bad position, lack in money, emotional matters. So I would be careful of obviously kind of like getting in a negative energy here. We'll see what comes up. I never get too excited about these oracle cards because they're just oracle cards, right? But what I would say is I would definitely do things to stay healthy. And that card says short rest. So I would do whatever you can to rest, relax, recover this week and heal. I think it would be good for you, especially after the week of the 8th. I talked about last week how this week, I'm recording this on the December 8th, and this will be published on the 9th. And the week of the 8th is definitely a little tricky. So, I'll say that. But what I would also say is that I would pay attention to your health. But what I would say is that, as we enter into the week of the 15th, I would make sure that you're healing from anything that you've been through the week of the 8th. Not that, I think the week of the 8th is, awful. I just think there are some challenges, right? The other thing that's popping into my head here is the Six of Pentacles, which you have right here. The Six of Pentacles could say that you're, settling for crumbs, basically. And so we're going to talk about that for sure. You have the Seven of Cups, the Six of Pentacles, and the Five of Swords. The Seven of Cups is about being spoiled for choice, having a lot of options. You do go down to the Ten of Cups here in your first diagonal. And the Ten of Cups is a very good card. But, a big but here, Cancer, is that they have those 10 cups above their heads. He is looking in the clouds, above his heads, basically. Above his head. He doesn't have heads, but his head. And, there are good things and bad things in those cups. It's I kind of get two messages here. It's for some of you, I wonder if you're thinking something could be good or bad, and that's preventing you from moving forward. It's funny, you have the Knight of Cups and the Devil here, and the first thing that popped into my head is sure, this could be love, but the Ten of Cups could be a dream, and it's the Knight of Cups and the Ten of Cups can be a dream, and the Knight of Cups could say you're looking at something and it looks good, but then you have the Devil and you could be thinking this looks good, but maybe it'll suck up all my energy, or with the Devil, because that Devil's an energy vampire, or maybe it'll take up all my time, or maybe it won't work out. It's that Seven of Cups is kind of all the what ifs that pop into our head when we think about doing something. And you get this card with me a lot, I'm pretty sure, Cancer, and this is what I would remove this week. Is I feel you need to make a decision or something like that. And because right now I feel you're settling for crumbs. That's why. You have the Six of Pentacles. I like the Six of Pentacles, but sometimes I think that it can say you're only getting little crumbs, little bits, of something. And you're not getting the big picture of a situation. This could be settling in any area of your life. And I kind of feel this is encouraging you to stop settling and to get everything you want. But, again, the other thing is we have Neptune and Pisces right now. So the problem with that is that Neptune and Pisces makes us dream the impossible dream, or makes us dream of something or imagine something that seems impossible. But again, the problem is that it feels really good to just think about it up here. And if you're only thinking about it, you're just settling for crumbs. You're just thinking about it. You're imagining something imaginary. You're not making it real. And I feel the Six of Pentacles is kind of saying you need to make something real and bring it down to earth. The poverty card, it's maybe you don't even realize that you don't have something that you could have, is kind of what that card is saying in this reading. You have the Five of Swords, which kind of makes sense because we go Five of Swords, Ten of Cups, Knight of Cups. Five of Swords can sometimes represent needing to take a risk on something. And again, if you have a dream right now or something you've been imagining that you think would be good for you, I think you really need to go for it and, really make it happen. And, I don't have any good advice because I feel it's just saying you just need to get started, right? I mean, literally, we have the Knight of Pentacles right next to it. And the Knight of Pentacles is the only knight in the tarot that isn't making a move. He's the only one that isn't doing anything, and he has a lot of potential. We'll talk about that in a second. Here you go. With the Seven of Cups, you have the Page of Wands. You just have to enjoy the adventure. You know, the challenge. If we looked at the Page of Wands as a challenge, it's not. It's a good card, but you know, if we did make it a challenge, it would be the fact that the only thing he has to follow is his enthusiasm. So he doesn't even know if he's going to be able to reach the finish line or not. He doesn't know if he starts working on a dream or, you know, goes on a date or does whatever he's doing. He doesn't know if it's going to actually add up to what he wants. But he's not getting too far ahead of himself. That's the good part, right? He practices non-attachment. He just says, I'll just look at this as an adventure and nothing else. I won't attach too much to it, and I'm just going to see how it goes. With the Six of Pentacles, you have the King of Swords. You have the King of Swords twice here, here and here. The King of Swords could be like a boss, a mentor, a person you look up to. Again, if you're like in a work situation, you're not getting paid enough, you know, maybe it's time to decide that you need to move forward and look for something new. This could also be you just gaining knowledge. Like you could be gaining new knowledge this week, and you know this knowledge could help you move forward towards your Ten of Cups or whatever. With the Five of Swords, yes, you have the Justice card. Again, definitely a little bit of a challenge at the end of the year here. Justice card, again, is a good card, but one thing I will say about Justice at the end of the year here is, well, there's a couple of things, but the big thing is South Node and Virgo. It's like South Node and Virgo has nothing to do with Justice, but I'm just saying that the energies right now, I think that they are, maybe South Node and Virgo makes us want things to be perfect before we get started, but nothing is ever perfect. So, you know, it's like you just have to get started here, Cancer. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Yang energy card, which is like the Ace of Wands. You have this never-ending story. Yeah, because you're living the same story in your head, is what I feel. And so the never-ending story card is like a round and round energy of just thinking the same thing over and over and over again, but never actually experiencing it. So it's almost like this reading is encouraging you to go have an experience. The Yang energy card is literally action. It is you going and taking action on something you want. You have the High Priestess, the Ten of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles. High Priestess, she can represent intuition, trusting your intuition, mysteries. There definitely could be mysteries in the area of something that you're trying to accomplish, of course. So if you're trying to accomplish something, you know, there could be a lot of unknowns in the situation. But that's how life works, so figure it out, right? She also has no roof over her head, and there is a point to that with the High Priestess. She represents unlimited potential. You know, she says that you can accomplish your wildest dreams. The only limitation is your brain. So I feel for a lot of you, this is saying like get out of your head and, you know, go for that impossible dream or, you know, try to accomplish something hard. You have the Ten of Cups, which is good. You know, Ten of Cups is like fortune after difficulty, happy home, happy family. It can represent like attracting a strong connection, you know, all sorts of things. It can represent your community as well. But again, I think that this is saying you need to bring these 10 cups down to earth here and make them happen. So, you know, there's clearly something that you've been thinking about for a long time. Could literally, like, I literally feel it's different for all of you. And I feel it's time to start taking action on, you know, what you've been thinking about or what you've been dreaming about for a long time. You have the Knight of Pentacles. Again, he has these empty fields behind him, and he could easily plant seeds in those fields and they would grow. So again, I think just making progress. Even if we looked at the Six of Pentacles as a positive, Six of Pentacles is planting seeds in a direction. So, you know, I feel it's time for you to take action towards something. Knight of Pentacles is progress. So, and you have the Six of Swords at the end as well, coming up in the good stuff, which could be progress. So, I do feel eventually you are going to start making moves here, Cancer, towards like what you are thinking about or what you're dreaming about. I feel like research would be very helpful for you with that High Priestess as well. Again, she needs to like see how the sausage is made. It's like, it's kind of funny how this reading is working because the High Priestess is like, yeah, she should enjoy the fantasy, right? It's like we all have these ideas, like we all have these perfect love fantasies and relationship fantasies and business fantasies and things like that, right? Which is good, you know, that we have those dreams and we can focus on them. But she has to see how the sausage is made. You know, it's like the High Priestess isn't a bad card, But if you're dreaming of something, it's like there might be some things that are not perfect. And so life isn't Disney, right? Obviously. And there might be, it's like maybe what's holding you back a little bit is like some of the things you would have to do to get what you want. It's like everybody wants money, but, if we didn't have to work for it, nobody would complain, right? But we do right now until the robots take over. But, that's going to be a different issue. So, they're probably just going to wipe humanity out, right? So, I don't know. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy the collapse, right, as they say. But what I would say here is, like, right now we do. So it's like you have to kind of take the good with the bad. It's like there's some things you might have to do with that high priestess to get a dream or something you want. It's not going to be perfect, right? Yes, with the high priestess, you have this 5 wands. 5 of Wands can be conflict or competition. Number one, I do think that some of this has come up for Cancer before. I think you have had these cards that say you could be looking too much at the competition, or you could be thinking there's too much competition. And the whole point of the 5 of Wands is to study the competition and see what they're doing, what they're not doing, and fill in the gaps. Then you can rise above the competition. I also feel if you want love, there is a little bit of love here, and you might be thinking there's competition for a person, but there really isn't. So that's what's popping into my head. With the 10 of Cups, what do you know? You have the 10 of Pentacles, which is amazing, Cancer. I think everybody should be working towards the 10 of Pentacles right now. 10 of Pentacles is building, leaving a legacy. We have Uranus and Taurus, which is building, leaving a legacy right now. So whatever you can do to build something like long-term success, long-term abundance, any of that would be very good for you. It's kind of, some people say that these 10 Pentacles are raining down on these people. But again, you have the 6 of Pentacles, which gave me the feelings that you are settling for crumbs right now. It's like, I think I said this to you earlier this year. It's like, what would you do if you were 1,000 times bolder or, 1,000 times stronger? Because I think you are, you just think you're not. And it's like, this is what you would be able to accomplish. You would be able to make it rain, right? And I feel this is kind of almost like a challenge from the universe. It's like saying, you need to make it rain right now. Whatever that means. It doesn't have to be money. It could be love. It could be health. It could be whatever. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles is resourcefulness. I'm pretty sure I said this to you recently as well. So Queen of Pentacles is good, but with the Knight of Pentacles, it could say that you think you don't have the resources that you need to be successful, but you actually do. And, it's like I've been saying this for years, that we are in a time where we might think we need money or, we need good looks or something else to find success, but really we don't. We have to work with what we got. And the Queen of Pentacles is about doing what you can with what you got right now. So even if that means you can only start small, then that's what you need to do here, Cancer. Next, you have this Caduceus card. It says, this is coming up in the area of messages from your future self. It says, you will receive news from afar. You cannot make this up. This card says, imagination clouds your judgment. 7 of Cups, never-ending story. 10 of Cups even. 10 of Cups is a good card, but, it can still, I always say it's my card of getting high on your own supply, because it's like you can get into a very excited state as far as your emotions are concerned towards something, an idea, a dream, a person, whatever. The problem is that is mental masturbation. You are just getting yourself off in your head by thinking about something and not doing it. And the problem with that is you never do it. And so, again, trust me, I do this all day long. So I am not criticizing you. I am far from perfect, Cancer, but again, I think that it's time to take action on something that you've been imagining, basically. But again, I said that on the 7 of Cups. It's like, the 7 of Cups, it basically says imagination is clouding your judgment. There are clouds. There are good things and bad things in those cups, but you don't actually know how something is going to turn out. You have the Knight of Cups, the Devil, and the 4 of Pentacles. Knight of Cups definitely could be a knight in shining armor coming in for you. So if you're looking for love, this could be a new person that's coming in for you here. And it could be a person who sweeps you off your feet. Again, I do feel this, he is very dreamy. He has a lot of dreams. And so you could have a dream that could make you very successful. But, again, I think it's time for you to make that dream happen, to bring it down to earth and to plant seeds in front of this water here. He's standing in the desert where nothing can grow. But if he were to plant seeds in front of that water, they would grow. And, that's basically what I would do with the Knight of Cups. Cancer, also make sure to like and leave a comment. It really helps me out. You have the Devil card. The Devil can represent toxic vibes, toxic energy, things like that. It can represent something stealing your energy as well. But like I said, I kind of feel in this reading is like one message, obviously, and it's very clear to me. And I feel it's saying that your imagination might be the thing that is kind of like stealing your energy in some ways, because it's like you could just be using the energy to work or to, make progress at this time. And so I do feel it's encouraging you to set yourself free from the Devil. Again, we have a lot going on with Saturn. Even today, I'm recording this video on December 8th. It'll be published on the 9th. And today we have that, Mars square Saturn, Mars in Sag, Saturn in Pisces, which is, very interesting and can be a little bit challenging. But again, I think you need to set yourself free from that control or from that mental control. You have the Four of Pentacles. Again, it's time to change your story. You have that never-ending story card. Four of Pentacles, he's holding on to what he thinks is a comfort zone, or he's holding on to what he's got, but that's preventing him from getting what he could have. And he's holding on to a little bit. There's something, this card pretty much says there's something better, or there could be something much better that could fulfill your life that you could have if you would let go of what you think you're holding on to. And, that's pretty much it. That's all I'm getting there. With the Knight of Cups, you have the Four of Cups. If this is love, then the Four of Cups can say you've been disappointed too many times before, and now you could be receiving a new offer or thinking about giving an offer, but he is afraid because he's been disappointed at least 3 times before. And he needs to realize that he can apply what he learned from these 3 cups to this 1 cup, and he'll be perfectly fine, right? So, the whole point of the 4 cups is to pay attention to your knowledge, your wisdom. You have the King of Swords again right next to it. You have the King of Swords twice in this reading. The King of Swords says you have a lot of experiences. You have a lot of knowledge and wisdom. You just need to use it on new opportunities. This doesn't even have to be love. This could be like maybe you've had a bunch of business failures or something else, and I feel like it's time. With the Devil, you have the Devil. I knew that was going to happen. I should have said it earlier. I should have said, I bet the Devil's going to repeat. This is definitely something you need to work on. The other problem with the Devil is that sometimes, like, the Devil is the master of lies. The Devil is satanic inversion. It's like, what's left is right and what's right is left, and what's up is down, what's down is up, right? With the Devil tries to make us believe that the opposite is true. And, sometimes I think that's the challenge with the Devil in the tarot, is that, we could be believing something that is the opposite of the truth, and we have to kind of conquer our own devils with the Devil card. With the Four of Pentacles, you just have to take a leap of faith. You have the Fool. The Fool, I think you get the Fool with me a lot. And the Fool is about taking the risk of looking like a fool. He's being called a fool for doing what he's doing. It's like, he might be saying to himself, if I'm wrong and I just can't handle being called a fool again. People are calling him a fool for going on this long journey. So, it's about taking the leap, taking the risk of putting yourself out there, or, trying to be successful. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Divine Infinity card. It says, here you go. It says, challenge yourself to go beyond your limitations and you'll find your infinity. High Priestess. Again, she needs to exceed her own expectations. I think I just said this to you in your last reading. You have this Crow Spirit. It says, you'll soon receive news that will bring some blessed experiences into your life. There you go. You have all these Pentacle cards. You have 2 Knights, which can be messengers. So there could be good news coming in for you, but I think the important thing, again, this reading is very obvious to me, and I feel it's saying you need to challenge yourself to go beyond your limitations. That's the thing that will make you a success. Also in the good stuff, you have the King of Swords, the Six of Swords, and the Hermit. The King of Swords is knowledge and wisdom, and you need to use everything you've learned to be successful moving forward into the future. The King of Swords is also a great card for getting help from a mentor, and it doesn't have to be a man. It could be any gender. And if you have a person you look up to, or a person who gives you good advice or whatever, the King of Swords can be you, like, using that resource to become more successful. He also has these butterflies behind him. This is not what those butterflies represent, but I do feel like something is in kind of like a delicate position. Like, I don't mean this to be scary, or it's not bad. It's coming up in the good stuff, but it's like sometimes when you're starting something, and it hasn't been established, it's kind of like you have to build more momentum to make sure that it can keep going. And that's more of the message that I'm getting on him, is that, something is kind of like when a butterfly first hatches, it's like pumping up its wings, and I feel like you're in that stage, or you're about to be in that stage on something, like the very beginning of something. And, building a solid foundation is going to be very good for you here, Cancer. You have the Six of Swords moving on to calmer shores. So, at the very least, I feel there are improvements coming in for you. They're kind of stepping into a completely new reality. The whole point of the card is that this woman and the child, they only have the clothing on their back. They're completely starting over. They are leaving everything in the past. And, maybe that's why there's a little bit of scariness in this reading. It's like you're dreaming of something that will be a completely new reality. It'll be a complete change. It's like maybe everything around you will be changing if you make this move that you're thinking about making, or if you build that business or that dream with the 10 of Cups or whatever it is, doesn't matter. And I think you should go for it and be brave and bold and assertive and like really make it happen, is what this card is encouraging you to do. It's encouraging you to move forward. I feel like you've been stuck in the mud for long enough. It's like you haven't been maybe moving forward or making progress as much as you want, and I feel the card is saying it's time to go. You have the Hermit. The Hermit is good. He's been through Dark Night of the Soul. He's found his inner light here. I kind of feel this is saying that you do have the strength and the knowledge and the wisdom, like I said, to move forward. Everything about the Hermit represents knowledge and wisdom. He's an old man. He's got a gray beard and a gray cloak. Like all that imagery in the tarot represents knowledge and wisdom. He's also got this staff here that supports him, which kind of says that you clearly have something that you can lean on, and maybe it's your own knowledge and wisdom, and so there's like nothing to fear about you moving forward. I always say the next step for him is to come down from the mountain and to shine his inner light, like all over the place. He needs to show off, and so maybe it's time for you to kind of, put your changes out into the world. With the King of Swords, you have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands like quick success or quick conclusion. Also, I think you always get this card with me as well, Cancer, because I'm pretty sure I'm always saying to you, you cannot be pulling in two directions. The whole point of the Eight of Wands is that all those wands are pointing at one thing that, that you want to accomplish. And so you have to get all your thoughts moving in the right direction, but also your actions, and also, your habits and the energy around you. It all has to be moving towards what you're trying to accomplish. I also think this could be communication rushing in. It could be a very communicative week for you this week. You could be communicating a lot with people, or you could be, it just seems like it's a busy personal week. You have like a lot of cards that represent people. 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, King of Swords twice, the two Knights, the Queen of Pentacles. So it could just be a busy social week. With the Six of Swords, you have the Four of Wands. Pretty good because, sure, Four of Wands can be marriage, but I think this is talking about a finish line. The Four of Wands, a lot of old tarot books say that it comes up when we are completing a part of our journey, or we're completing a project or wrapping something up, and we have to cross this finish line right here and get to the other side. So a lot of you could be like wrapping something up, now, like at the end of the year here, and you could be going and celebrating on the other side. That's the point of the card, is that we have to go and celebrate with these people over here. With the Hermit, you have the Three of Wands. Yeah, what are you waiting for, Cancer? That's the whole point of the reading. Three of Wands, it's like he has these boats. He could go on this adventure. It's a little bit scary because those boats are going somewhere. He has no freaking clue where they're going. They're just going somewhere. They're going off into the unknown. But the unknown is a little bit scary, but it also holds a lot of adventure, holds a lot of, a lot of benefits. Could be a lot of treasure that he could be finding on those boats. So, again, the whole point of the card is to get out, take an adventure, or do something different with your life so that you can experience something, different or better. We're going to pull 5 cards from the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. You have this birth card. I'm pretty sure you had this with me recently, but you could be like, you clearly, the reading is asking you to birth something new and to have like a new beginning or have a fresh start. Here you go. You have this resistance card. Again, my favorite book of all time, The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield, says, we feel the most resistance when we are closest to our goal. So you might be feeling a lot of resistance to doing something, but, it could get you to your goal a lot faster. You have this exaltation card. The universe is on your side. This card says that something in your life is exalted. The universe wants it for you, but the universe can't make anything happen for you. So you have to make the moves towards this dream, because it is like divinely, blessed in your life, but you have to make it happen. You have this restlessness card. Yes, again, I would channel that restlessness into something. You could be feeling restless about this, whatever this thing is, this opportunity or dream or whatever. And I feel that action is what's needed here. And finally, you have this butterflies on this discrimination card. So this card is about being able to tell the difference between something that's right and wrong for you. But like I said, I think something is in a very delicate stage. Like it has to, it needs support. Something needs support here in your reading is how I feel, Cancer. And by support, I mean like a solid foundation that can be built upon. And I think you can build that foundation by getting out of your head, bringing the dream down to earth, taking the steps to make it happen, but also adopting the habits, the energy, the mindset, everything around you. Making it success, as if the dream is already successful. That's how you should be living, and that's what I would do with this card. But this looks pretty good, Cancer, overall. So thank you for being here. Make sure to leave a comment, and definitely enjoy your week.